Hey guys, Wade Willis here for Wade's Weeb Reviews, and holy crap, the newest episode of ReZero, episode 5 for season 2 was insane. There's so much to unpack here. First of all, we started off with Subaru complimenting Echidna on her uniform first, right out the bat, which at the end of the last episode I saw her in the schoolgirl thing, and I was a huge fan. Really glad that Subaru, being a pervert like me, had to tell her that she looks good in her uniform. One of the most important parts of the episode, for sure. But in all seriousness, find out a lot of things in this first 4 minutes where he did pass the trial, but there's 2 more, so there's 3 total. And basically, Echidna created the whole thing. He didn't actually travel to the other world to do all this stuff with his family. So really, we're starting to see how powerful she really is, which is super impressive that she created that whole world from his memories and made it in a way that was so realistic he thought he was in the real thing. He gets out of that dream or whatever subconscious state. Amelia's losing her shit, and she does not pass the trial. Then that basically the half elf, the pink tiny, it looks like a child chick comes into the picture, and you find out that she's actually old, and so Subaru calls her a lolly hag, and it's oh, there's a stereotype, but this is the first one that I've actually seen, which I love about the show. He's aware of stereotypes in RPGs and anime and stuff, and comments about it in this world. One of the really funny things about this show, his humor with all of that. But you find out they can't, even the mixed bloods can't leave at all, because if they do, basically their soul's going to leave their body, and they'll kind of be in the state that Rem is in right now. From her fight with the Archbishop witch thing. So then you find out Ram's super suspicious of Fredrica, and thinks that she's playing a game. And this is very interesting to me, kind of the dynamic with her. We've only seen her for half an episode, and she seems pretty powerful. I'm really excited to see how she's going to come into play, because there's more in this episode kind of digging into her. And then Subaru finally confronts Roswaal about him basically doing all this stuff with the royal selection, having Amelia be picked, knowing that the witch's cult is going to come out of the woodwork to attack Amelia and all this stuff. And Subaru calls him out for it, and then Roswell's oh, I had faith in you that you were gonna persevere, basically. And Subaru's what the heck? I was basically a baby back bitch at the time. Why would you have your faith in me? And to me, I feel like he might know Subaru's power, or he thinks that maybe he's seen in a short period of time where that his power increases a stupid amount in a few days, and he may think that he has some power that increases his levels very quickly or something like that. I know they have that in other, I think is it wrong to pick up on a girl in a dungeon? That's that guy's special ability. Maybe he thinks that's what Subaru has. I don't know, but he knows something, because him just meeting Subaru, you wouldn't think he'd be able to persevere against Betelgeuse. So that's just me. Amelia fails again on the trial. So she's failed 2 times. And I believe in this episode she fails 3 times total. And it's really interesting. Subaru's really pushing her on and thinks that she needs to be the one to do it. And when he has a conversation with Garfield, which this guy's change in development and character is one of the highlights of this season, and there's a lot of highlights, but he's really grown into he seems like a very caring and interesting character, and he's softened quite a bit. He's still a badass and could, Stone Cold Stunner a freaking dragon, but he's changed quite a bit. And it seems like he's really the nicer and kinder one, and his sister, Fredrica, is actually kind of the more, seems like she's the more sinister one now. And in this conversation with Subaru, he's like, basically gives Subaru that same like kind of like sapphire necklace thing. Is like, push come to shove, hey, give this to Fredrica, which I don't know what the hell that'll do or what it'll mean when she gets it, but okay. And then he also kind of like digs into Subaru and is like, hey, like, I don't know if Amelia actually wants to deal with her past. So, like, is it the right thing to make her keep failing? Basically, that's what he's implying. And he kind of tells Subaru, like, if you leave and don't come back, we're going to be the ones suffering here the whole time. So, I don't know, he's kind of foreshadowing a lot that can happen. And right before that, Subaru had another conversation with Ram, and she brings up Fredrica again and is like, hey, if you're worried about facing her, Roswell says to go to Beatrice, and is like, hey, all you need to say to Beatrice is Roswell says to ask the question. And if you say that, everything's going to be changed. So I'm super excited for what this entails. Subaru's probably going to have to do that at some point, but I mean, everyone's talking about Fredrica, so there's really a lot of foreshadowing. Like, she's either doing something like messed up, or like she's pulling the strings in a way that we don't understand yet. So a lot of stuff going to be going on. Beatrice is probably going to have to become involved, and I mean, she's one of my favorite characters, so I'm excited to have her possibly back in the show a little bit more, because she was only in one episode so far. And they kind of end with Subaru kind of making it through back into the mansion, and it's like kind of how they shot this whole scene. I loved it. It was like red because the sun's setting, but it also like created like a horror movie vibe. Like, if I see red on a screen and like the shadowing and everything, I'm like, shit's about to go down. And like, as the credits are like kind of like starting to go, Subaru's like, where is everyone? He's like in the mansion, can't see anyone, starts running, was like, oh shit, I need to fucking figure out what's going on with Rem, who no one still is aware that she exists. Is this going to be, is the Rem thing going to be fixed by the end of this, like, first half of the second season? Probably not, I'm guessing, because, I mean, we're 5 episodes in, there's going to be, what, 7 more, I guess? I don't see that happening. We haven't seen her for a few episodes. But, so he's running, trying to find her, and then he, like, trips and falls, and you see, like, this stuff kind of, like, behind him. It looks like, I don't know, tape or something. And then you realize it's his intestines, and Elsa, the, like, bowel hunter, or, basically she's like, hey, I told you to take care of those bowels, and I was, like, I came for him. So, I mean, Subaru hasn't really died since the first episode when he killed himself to try to, like, save Rem. So, we were due for it. We're in episode 5, hasn't happened since episode 1. Like, I felt like it was coming. I'm like, he either has to die in this episode or the next one. Like, he hasn't died in a while. And really cool, because Elsa has not been in the show really since the beginning of the first season. I thought she was going to be more involved in that first season, and then she's like MIA, comes back with a vengeance. And I consider her the, like, Chipotle villain, because, I mean, with Chipotle, I know it's going to mess with my bowels, but I still go for it. She's going to take out your bowels. She's still hot, though. She's the Chipotle villain. That's how I see Elsa. I don't know, what do you guys think? But overall, what did you guys think about the episode? Did you like it? This is, I keep saying this like every episode, but this is probably my favorite one so far. They've really built up a lot, and I'm really excited to see what they do with all these characters. We got the freaking the Battle Hunter, the Chipotle villain, back in. We also have Fredrica's doing something shady, and we're gonna have to get Beatrice involved. Or is Subaru actually going to go back and try to do all the trials himself instead of dealing with this situation? I don't know. There's a lot of ways this can go. I'm super excited. But what did you guys think? Again, guys, I'm Wade Willis. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, that was Wade's Weeb Reviews for ReZero Season 2, Episode 5.